So how many times?
3 times.
3 times.
Hi, I'm Alicia Harrison and I go to Morrinsville College. I'm representing East Waikato for Science Fair. My problem was that when dairy farmers go out every night during calving, it's very hard to read tags on cows and they often spend ages walking round and round in circles wasting time. So my aim was to create a tag that is easily seen and can last for 8 years, which is roughly the cow's lifespan in all weather, and will work well and just generally make the farmer's job a lot easier.
Okay, can you run through the development process with us, please, Alicia?
Yeah. Okay, so for prototype 1 and 2, I got glow-in-the-dark powder, which has strontium aluminate in it. And for this, I mixed it with nail polish, because it can be mixed with virtually anything. And I then, for prototype 1, I then spread it on the yellow background of the tag, as you can see here. And it did glow quite good at night, like for these ones, but it was quite hard to spread around, and the nail polish often went very hard and you had to add more, and it took a lot of effort to do just one tag. And then for prototype 2, I did pretty much exactly the same to make it, except I did the black number, but I don't have one of it actually glowing. And the brush and stuff, then the polish is like, it goes very yuck, so that I went to my next idea, which was prototype 3. My original idea for this was to use reflective tape, but in the end I found glow-in-the-dark reflective tape, so I used this. To do this, I had to trace the tag numbers onto a piece of normal paper, and then I had to trace the outline of the tag too, then get the back of the glow-in-the-dark tape, so the adhesive backing, and then I had to put my traced paper on top and then cut out around it for prototype 3, and I had to take the numbers off, and then I'd been leave with a backing that was all stuck together, 3 pieces of tape. And then once I'd done that, I pulled all the adhesive off and I had to stick it down and then trim up around it, like for here. That's what it looked like before I trimmed up around it. And then that was eventually the most successful prototype. But just to see, I also did a prototype 4, which was also effective. So that was virtually the same, except because light colours don't look good, are hard to read in daytime on other light colours, I painted the tag black, and you can actually get darker tags, but most farmers choose light tags, such as yellow. So I painted the tag like that, and then I traced the numbers again, and then I cut them out and stuck them over the already existing numbers. Now that actually did work good, but because on my farm we use the smaller side of the tag, so it's quite a small space, so when you go out at night and it's only like numbers about that big, it's actually quite hard to see. So for most farmers, I would say, even for the other prototype, it would be a lot easier if they use the bigger sizes of tags such as this one, and there are even bigger versions. So because cows don't turn their heads when you're looking at them, it's almost impossible to see the back of their ears. In conclusion, prototype 3 is the best one. There is a lot of demand for it, and I have asked a lot of farmers and they all wonder why. There is no idea. So for this I have looked up everywhere and I found no idea even remotely similar. So now Z-Tags have picked it up after going to the Kudos Awards, and I'm going up on Thursday and working with them, and to do this, to make better tags that will last better and weather, we'll do a completely different process, which involves putting the phosphorus strontium aluminate actually into the tag mould, which I have been unable to do because I haven't had the experience or research so far. So hopefully everything goes well.
Okay, and then they're talking about patents or anything?
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. And currently they're talking with their lawyers and trying to patent it, but for now they've suggested that I copyright absolutely everything, so I've done that.
Okay, I have with me here Beth Hampton from Matamata Intermediate. She's in Year 8 and she's at the East Waikato Science and Technology Fair. Beth, can you run through some ideas that made you come up with this stretchy tent bag?
Okay, I decided to make a stretchy tent bag because we always have trouble when we go camping getting the tent back into the bag, because we always find it's really easy to get it out, but when you're going to put back in after you've been camping a couple of nights, it's always really hard to get it tight enough to fit back into the original bag. To some other people as well, and they all basically laughed and said they had the same problem.
Yeah, Beth, having established your need, you did a little bit more research. What did that involve?
I did a thorough search on the internet and I found no matches for my keywords. I also looked in some local shops and found nothing that was like my tent bag.
Okay, Beth, so what's the next step in the process?
Well, I came up with an aim, which is to invent a stretchy tent bag so that you can get the tent back into the bag when you need to. And I also came up with some criteria. The criteria were that it must be stretchy, that it must be easy to use, that it must have some form of adjustable strapping so you can reduce the size of the tent, that the cost to manufacture must be under $30, and that it must be durable and as waterproof as possible.
Can you lead us through the design process now, please?
Okay, I came up with 6 designs, of which I evaluated each one, and only this one here, design 1, fitted all the criteria.
Can you lead us through how you put together the different design?
Okay, firstly I made this design here, which is a miniature version of my actual prototype. The elastic runs all the way around and it's really stretchy, which goes out to that size there, which the original being only that. It has a drawstring top so that you can easily close it, and this here is my logo.
What's that stand for?
It stands for Beth's Tent Bags.
Okay, now let's go and look at the bigger one that was made now.
This is my bigger version. As you can see, the elastic here runs from this side all around the back, all across the bottom, and right up the other side. It has 2 adjustable straps here, which have Velcro on the top so that you can reduce the size of the tent once it's inside it. I have also got other strap that you could use. This one could be easier to use as it has this sort of buckle. This bag here has a handle here, so it's easy for transportation, and it also has a place for a hammer. Here it has the drawstring to easily close the bag. And this elastic here can easily stretch. It's already quite stretched, but it still stretches the same as the other. It stretches out to at least there, more than there.
Okay, on both sides too?
On both sides, yes, and of course across the bottom here. It also stretches there.
Can you run through some costings and marketing plan, please?
Okay, I've figured out that it will cost $11.30 per bag to make completely, which includes the materials and labour. It will cost $4 for labour. I have decided that I can sell these tent bags on TradeMe, eBay and Amazon. I've also talked to Kiwi Camping as I've emailed them, and they sent back a reply saying that they were really interested in my tent bag and they would really like to see my designs. Okay, I've also made this brochure for it, which basically says you can order them and basically what's it's all about and what's it made of. The bag is actually made of elastic and PVC backed polyester. Okay, I've made up a business card, which is for that, and I've also made up a sort of business prospectus plan which says our goals for the future and what we have already achieved.
One end of the chain is attached to the top length of the tractor. The chain is thrown around the animal's neck from quite a distance. Then the farmer threads the chain through a lug link on the chain. The chain can be pulled tight so it is tight enough to pull the animal out. The farmer can tighten the chain without having to be extremely close to the animal. This end of the chain is attached to the drawbar of the tractor. The drawbar pin has a piece of string on it so that the drawbar pin can be pulled out from in the cab of the tractor. So once the animal is pulled out and all of the pulling forces are on the drawbar of the tractor, as that is the safest way to pull. So once the animal is pulled out, the farmer can pull out the drawbar pin from the cab by pulling out the string. That will release this end of the chain again. Then as the animal backs away or the tractor drives forward, the chain will simply slide off again. The animal is free to go and return to its herd. You can see the farmer throwing the chain over the animal from quite a distance. He then threads the one end of the chain through the lug link on the chain. You can pull it tight without having to get close to the animal. He then attaches it to the drawbar of the tractor. The animal is pulled out and the chain is tight enough to pull the animal out without slipping. When the animal stands up, the drawbar pin is pulled out. Then as the animal walks away, the chain runs off from around its neck and the animal is free.